Welcome to the Barrel Room Podcast, your front row seats to the world of whiskey and bourbon. In every episode, we're pouring up something we're talking about, from small batch standouts to big label legends. We sip, review, and break it all down one pour at a time. We'll talk tasting notes, tell stories, give the occasional review on real-life experiences, and every now and then bring in a special guest from the industry to share a pour and a conversation. This podcast is made possible by the generous support of our sponsors. Edward Jones, Chris Bridget, Age, Wisdom, Bold Strategies. Fallen Buds Crafted Spirits, crafted in honor, shared in remembrance. Bowie's Liquor, pouring paradise one bottle at a time. The Barrel Room Bourbon Plum. Pull up a chair, we're waiting for you on the inside. And Grillo's Chop and Barrel, where fine whiskey meets fine meat. So pull up a chair, have a pour as we dive into this week's episode of the Barrel Room Podcast. This pour of the Barrel Room is brought to you by Edward Jones financial advisor Chris Ridgick. Just like a well-aged whiskey, a solid financial plan takes time, patience, and the right guidance. Whether you're investing for the future or planning your next big barrel pick, Chris is here to help you build a strategy that fits your goals and your lifestyle. So let's raise a glass to smart decisions and visit edwardjones.com/Chris Ridgick to get started. And now, this week's episode of the Barrel Room Podcast, let's welcome our hosts, Kenny Gales and Bryan Buesking.
Welcome back to the Barrel Room Podcast. Co-host Bryan Buesking alongside co-host Kenny Gales. We got at least one familiar face in here, and obviously a new face as well. I'd like to welcome Joe Maui and his cousin JP, owner of Crossroads Chiropractic and Performance here in Wentzville, Missouri. So we're going to do a little fun podcast today, sample some of Fallen Brothers whiskey, talk about some future events we got coming up. You get to see me get my neck cracked live. You can all laugh at that and be happy. Hopefully JP doesn't hurt me.
No, you're inside fans, man.
Yeah. So, JP, let's just start kind of at the beginning. How did you get into chiropractic care, and where did you get started at?
So, throughout high school, having injuries and stuff like that, I went to chiropractors here and there, especially for my shoulder and neck at times, playing volleyball. Had some weird dives here and there where it really compressed my neck. So, a lot of chiropractors did take care of me in the beginning while I was playing sports. But I didn't really think I was going to be a chiropractor at that time. I wanted to go more physical therapy based.
Okay.
And then, so I went to school out in Iowa for pre-physical therapy. And then I shadowed a lot of physical therapists, and I just kind of noticed they would show a patient a couple exercises and be like, hey, you can go do these in the corner by yourself, and I'll be over here on the computer, and I'll just come check in on you. So I did that for a few months, and I just didn't feel like that was a great fit for me. I just wanted to be more involved with the patient, be with them the whole time, and not just, here, do this stuff, and I'll just check in on you. So started shadowing some chiropractors, loved how some of them really spent time with their patients one-on-one rather than just having them do their own stuff.
Sure.
So that's kind of how I got introduced to chiropractic a little bit, and decided that I was going to kind of phase out physical therapy and maybe choose to be a chiropractor instead. And I had a great professor in undergrad who was a chiropractor and a professor at the same time.
Oh, wow.
So he kind of pushed me to be a chiropractor as well. And while I was in Iowa, I wanted to actually come back to St. Louis at the time. And, Logan University's here in Chesterfield. Mm-hmm. So I was able to, be able to come back home, which I really wanted to do, and be going to Logan University for chiropractic care.
Are they one of the biggest chiropractic schools in the country?
I would say so, yeah. They're probably the biggest. And then we have Life University, which is down in Atlanta, which is pretty big. There's not too many chiropractor schools, but now some public universities are starting to incorporate chiropractic. There's only one other public university that has chiropractic, and then in January, it's called the University of Alabama of Montgomery, I think. They're AUM. They're going to officially have the second chiropractic program in a public university. So,
gotcha. Yeah. I had a friend way back in the day. He lived in past Quincy, Illinois.
Yeah.
A little small town. Some of my best friends are from a little town called Bowen, Illinois. It's like literally there's a flashing red light, and that's it, and 500 people live in this town. They take cows to the gas station. Yeah. I mean, it's like the smallest town in the world, but it's actually, for somebody who grew up in the St. Louis area, it's kind of cool to go back there and be like, wow, you can hear a pin drop in this town, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of cool. But he came down from there, from Bowen, and went to Logan and stayed with me at my house while he was going to school.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Actually, Kip's house, my friend's house, where I was living. But yeah, so he went to Logan as well. Now he's a chiropractor in Bowen, and maybe it's Augusta. I don't really know exactly what town, but I knew Logan was here, and I actually went to a seminar one time at Logan for it's called EO, which stands for Entrepreneur Organization, which is a big like business networking group here in the St. Louis area. Yeah. And they had the gentleman. There's a movie about him, and I'm going to screw this up, but it was pretty cool. I haven't seen the movie, but the speech was incredible. He like was climbing mountains in Utah, and got stuck between two rocks, and had to like saw off his arm or his wrist to get out of the rocks to survive, because he was like stuck in there for I don't remember exactly how many days, 6 or 7 days. And hearing him tell this story and how he like persevered and resilience and like, I mean, to cut your own freaking hand off, it was with like a pocket knife or something that he had. And it was at Logan. And that was the first time I've ever been there.
You said it was a movie, right?
There's a movie.
I think I saw the movie, and he was, I can't remember if he was documenting himself with the camera the whole time, or he was writing notes down.
I think he had a camera.
I think it was a camera too, and he was documenting each day, like, this is day 1, I've been stuck, blah, 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 and just went through the 6-7 days, even to the point where, he cut his hand off because... I forget why.
I think Shia LaBeouf played him in the movie.
He did, yeah. He had a scruffy beard.
Played him in the movie.
He had to have put a tourniquet on, right?
Dude,
because there's something called compartment syndrome. So then immediately you would go into cardiac arrest because of the.
Well, I know that somebody found him because like he was about to die. And somebody found him, and they like helicoptered him out of there. Again, I don't remember all the details, but I just remember being at Logan and like hearing that story. I was like, I can run through a brick wall right now. You know what I mean? Like, this dude just cut his wrist off with a pocket knife and is here telling me this story, and got a movie out of him, out about him. And Shia LaBeouf was the actor in the movie. But beautiful campus, I guess, is where I was going.
It's a really nice campus, and they actually just redid a couple of the buildings there to make them a lot bigger and nicer too. Because a lot of the buildings were kind of old. The school was built in 1895, I think, or something.
Yeah, it's old. I know that.
And so it's a really old school, but they've moved campuses a couple times. They used to have a different campus, then they moved to where they are in Chesterfield now. But then they just redid a lot of the buildings as well.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
cool.
We back, I think, what is it? It's almost probably 15 years ago when I was going through paramedic clinicals. We did the cadaver lab at Logan. I'm sure you went through that.
Yeah, we had
which is pretty state of the art. So you're actually cutting on dead humans,
Yes.
And well, you're practicing amputations, and you're learning anatomy and physiology of the human body. So you actually get to see what it's like. We're starting IOs, IVs, stuff like that on cadavers, to practice before we go into our classroom scenario.
That's nasty.
Because then you learn on them, and then you can do it on yourself in the classroom setting. So because there was actually, I don't know if anybody knows what an IO is. It's an interosseous basically injection, so that basically you drill into the bone marrow to push drugs to get them quicker to the heart because it's going through the bone marrow. And we do that on all of our cardiac arrests. There's several locations on your body you can do them, but we actually had a guy in class let them do it while he was awake and with it. So,
Like no painkillers or nothing?
No,
Oh, Jesus.
It's a little painful.
You think
it's more, it's more painful on the way out than it is in, so when you pull it out, so. Yeah.
Okay.
And it sounds like a drill too, so it's kind of like, oh shit, It's like.
Oh, no way.
It is, but it's.
I got a cortisone shot in my elbow. I thought I was gonna pass out.
Yeah.
So.
But the cadaver lab there at Logan's really state of the art too. They get a lot of donations for the program, where thankfully enough, we do get enough cadavers to where students can practice on them, and firefighters. I've seen other pre-med students even come in for training and stuff like that too at Logan University, because not a lot of campuses do have cadavers, and I think Logan is really, really lucky to be able to have that type of facility where we got to do the same thing. We got to cut on the cadavers, kind of see the layers of the skin, then you get to the fat, you got to kind of remove the fat, then you see all the muscle tissue. And then if you cut deeper, you get to the bones and the organs. And we had to pretty much start from the legs, then we did the back, get to the head, and then do the front of the body. So So yeah, it was pretty cool. But then I kind of did it during COVID time too. So we only got to do about 3/4 of it, and then we had to go online, and then we pretty much watched our professor on our computer do it on the cadaver for us. So it was a little bit of a different experience, but it was still really cool doing it in person though.
Definitely different times.
Yeah.
So with me being a firefighter, what's some of the benefits of going and getting chiropractic adjustments done and stuff like that?
I've seen a few firefighters. When I was working down in Alabama, we used to get firefighters quite a bit, and down in Montgomery, and a lot of them usually came in with issues from the mid back to the lower back, and it was because of them carrying those oxygen tanks and then putting that load onto the shoulders and really compressing down.
It's about 75 pounds worth of equipment all dressed up.
Yeah, it's a lot. So even police officers too, we used to get a lot of police officers with lower back issues and hip issues because of their utility belt weighs a lot too. So they can kind of throw off the lower back and the hips as well. But for firefighters though, so you're going to compress the spine a lot, and it's going to cause a lot of joint tension. And over time, if you're not doing a lot of movement, whether it's getting adjusted and get those bones moving, or stretching or doing mobility work for the spine itself, it's going to start to degrade just a little bit and cause more arthritis over time, just because you're not moving that spine as much.
Sure.
So studies have shown that the more you move, usually the less arthritis you're going to get in a certain joint or a certain area. So they did a study a while back where they took somebody where they had a pretty stagnant lifestyle. They did the same job and stuff, but one had a pretty stagnant lifestyle, the other one worked out and did a lot of mobility work, and they found that most people that are more stagnant tend to develop a little bit more arthritis than the person that's more active. But some of it is also genetic though. It does have to do with genetics at times, or if you had a predisposition to an injury already, say a car accident or something like that. So if you've had trauma to an area already, you can accelerate arthritis through that. But just in general, if you're taking two relatively healthy people and one's stagnant and one's active, usually that active person is going to develop less arthritis and have better movement throughout their life. So.
Do you recommend we wait till we get an ailment, or do we come see you prior to that and see where we're at in our current condition, or what is your advice as far as all that?
I feel like the general population usually waits till they have some kind of injury to go see somebody, especially guys. I feel like we hold off and we're like, I'm not broken, I'm fine. So a lot of times I feel like guys do wait a long time till they're like, okay, this is really bothering me now, let me go see somebody, which is great. I mean, it's never too late to see somebody for an issue. But I would say preventatively though, it's also a good thing to get adjusted, whether it's once a month, once every couple months, or when you do have something going on. And just the only issue with coming in when you have an active injury going on is you're probably going to have to be seen a little bit more often until you do feel better, versus coming in on a regular basis before something occurs.
Preventative stuff?
Yeah, more so a preventative thing.
Makes total sense.
Definitely makes sense.
Well, you want to give me a quick adjustment here?
Yeah, I know we kind of talked about the neck. We're going to adjust the neck. Any neck issues I should know about?
No, I don't think so.
No, it's been feeling pretty good. No recent injuries, no surgeries, trauma.
No, only surgery I've ever had is on my shoulder. Right elbow.
Right elbow. And you've seen chiropractors in the past, you said?
Okay, awesome. Shout out to Brian at Wellness, Wellness. He was my chiropractor for a long time over in Edwardsville.
So here, let's start on your back. So we're just going to do the neck here.
All right.
You're a little too loose.
What did they say?
I don't know.
No.
I want Joe to talk about why you won't let your cousin here adjust your neck.
Yeah, he won't let me do it.
I love him. I know he's good at his job, but there's a lot of trauma between me and him in the past.
Trauma.
I beat him up a lot. He beat me up a lot. I'm too vulnerable in that state.
Do you want to, kind of explain as you're going through a little bit of what you're doing?
Yeah, so
people
first thing I always like to check is one, muscular tension. A lot of times, like Joe, actually, one of the reasons I don't really adjust his neck is because he tenses up really hard. So I like to see if there's a lot of muscle tension, because if there is, I'm not going to be able to really do it today with the time we have, but usually I'll kind of work the muscles out first, do a lot of massage. I've also got a lot of other tools. I use cupping tools here. I've got massage guns. I've got dry needling. So I'll work on the soft tissue first before I adjust most patients, just to make sure that they're really loosened up beforehand, so the joints move a lot easier. And then the second thing I'll usually assess is the joint movement itself. We want to see how they're rotating, and usually you can find a segment that's not moving as well as the other segments. So that's usually the one that we want to adjust to get that joint moving again.
Gotcha. Yeah, I've never really, I've seen cupping, but I don't really know the benefits of it or what
we can talk about that too, actually. Because a lot of people have asked that in the past.
I always see them big dark circle bruises on people, like a straight line on people. Yeah.
He just did it on my lower back because I picked up a drunk friend, threw him on my shoulder, so I strained my lower back. So I came to him.
Smart.
And he did all the cupping on the back.
Oh, nice.
It
helped a lot.
Does it?
And then from here, I'm going to give you a little push that way, okay? Just try to stay real loose, man. Good.
Ooh, I heard that.
Oh, the microphone did too.
And the same thing on this side here. You go ahead and drop your head down this way. Good. Good.
That's crazy.
Yeah, your neck moves really well though. It doesn't really seem like you have too much stiffness as far as the muscles go. So you were a really, really easy adjustment anyways. But you say you've been going to chiropractors for a long time now?
Well, I used to. I
Used
used to go all the time.
Nice.
Then I moved out here and I haven't been as often as I used to go.
Yeah.
Now you got a new one.
Yeah.
Right. Do you guys live out here, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're like a mile and a half away.
Nice.
On the other side of the highway.
Yeah. So, talk to me a little about this cupping thing.
Yeah, so with the cupping, a lot of the times, again, like I was talking about with soft tissue, so sometimes when we have an injury, for example, I just had a 13-year-old gymnast. She's really, really competitive. She came in here. She does a lot of vaulting and stuff. So she had kind of hurt her shoulder, and it was just kind of aching. The muscles and rotator cuff were aching her. So she had a lot of tenderness and muscle knots in the back of the shoulder blade and the rotator cuff. So we started doing a lot of cupping with her for 2 sessions. And most of her tenderness, because a lot of the times when you do have an injury, if I just poke in a certain area where that injury is, they're like, oh, that's tender, that hurts. So a lot of the times that cupping can help with 2 things. One, it's going to reduce a lot of tension in the area by kind of decompressing the skin from the muscle itself. So it's kind of trying to pull those 2 apart to reduce some of that tension. And then 2, with those dark red circles that you guys were talking about. So why that happens is because a lot of blood starts to pool in that area. So that's what the cups are doing, is bringing that blood flow to that area specifically, because our blood is going to bring a lot of minerals and a lot of nutrients to that area to be able to enhance recovery a little bit. So it's going to more so target that area on purpose rather than just have general blood flow to the area. So that's going to help a lot with the recovery and reduce muscle tension too. So
cool.
Here, you can sit on that one.
All right.
That feel okay for you?
Feel great.
Perfect.
Feel like $1 million.
Yeah.
Just cut the Halloween joke on the wall there.
Yeah, so my wife, I don't know where she went, but she went to some chiropractor here in Wentzville, I don't know, probably 6 months ago, and they did cupping on her, like around her neck. She works out at Burn Boot Camp, literally like 6 days a week.
Yeah.
And she was there one day, I guess, and she pulled something or did something wrong. And that's where I really kind of learned about cupping, was kind of through her and getting it done. And it helped her greatly.
Yeah, it really, really helps pretty relatively quickly, especially as far as muscle tension or muscle dysfunctions go or injuries, because a lot of the times I feel like chiropractors, we're getting better at it, but I feel like I call them traditional chiropractors, where you go in, they're just focused on the joints, all right, pop, 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 get out, 5 minutes, you know. There's usually a bigger picture than just the joints that are bothering you. Like if somebody does come in and they strain their muscle, adjusting their joint isn't really going to do much for them. So like Joe came in, he said he picked up his friend, threw him over his back, and he pulled his back. And so I knew it wasn't just the joints that were bothering him, it was the muscles itself at the lower back, the erector muscles. So we did a lot of cupping when he came in, and then I did some dry needling as well. and that really seemed to help out. And the pain had, I think it happened 2 weeks before he came in.
Yeah.
It happened 2 weeks before, and usually on a healthy person where you don't really have too many issues, most of the time that should start to get better within 2 weeks, but it really wasn't doing much for him. So after about 2 weeks, he came
You
and
call him
saw
Joe
me.
unhealthy?
Not unhealthy.
Come on, my belly.
But yeah, he came and saw me. We did some cupping, dry needling, adjusted him, did some, took him through some mobility movements he could start doing, and he told me he felt pretty good within the
How
next
do you get
couple
the
days,
cup
so.
to like suction?
Oh, we've got so we got this little tool here.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, you basically, well, this one's a small one, but yeah, you basically just start pumping it, and then it brings that skin up. It's not really doing too much right here, but.
Now, this might be a really stupid question, but I feel like I've seen videos where people like use like a candle or something to get the suction.
Same thing. I'm not entirely sure how that works. They're basically doing the same thing without using that tool. They're using that fire somehow to create that suction too. I'm not sure if it's because maybe it gets rid of some of the oxygen. It's pulling that oxygen out to where it causes that suction. So same idea, but we use the tool. Some people that don't have access to it.
More holistic approach.
Yeah.
Now you don't have to call the fire department.
Right.
That could turn into something bad.
All right, Kenny, which whiskey we wanna sample first?
Yeah, should we? Let's go ahead and do the 343 since it's right there down on the left. So the one we're getting ready for, we're pouring up right now, is our release we do on 9/11 every year. It's our 9/11 commemorative series. It is a 13-year 4-grain, and it's to honor the 343 firemen that died in 9/11. So the mash bill is 80-10-5-5, so it adds 5% wheat to it, which gives it that 4th grain. That bottle there, usually, I didn't bring the wooden box today, but it comes in a wooden box that we hand build, and we actually laser engrave all the fronts. And then as you turn the bottle like Brian just did, you see all 343 names that died in 9/11. And under there it tells you we give $9.11 off every one of those bottles to backstoppers. Yeah. So that bottle in particular is pretty special to me just because last year we had the very first version of that one, and that's what launched our brand. So we just had our 1-year anniversary, and that's our second release on that line there. So
awesome. Now, JP, you like whiskey, right?
Yes. So whenever Joe had opened up Maui's Liquors, kind of when I started getting into whiskey and bourbons. But like I said, I had moved down to Alabama for the last 2 years, and I really stopped drinking those last 2 years just because I liked to drink with Joe when I was here. So I didn't really have any friends or family down there while I was there for those 2 years, so I didn't really drink much while I was there. But now that I'm back, I mean, I saw your guys' club yesterday. It was a really, really great meeting. So I was like, shoot, I'm going to have to definitely get back into it. So I was like, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but yeah.
Sounds like you guys had a good turnout. So
yeah, it was a great turnout.
Wish I could have made that one. And like he said, it's his first time, so it's the last Thursday of every month at the Post in Lake St. Louis. If you guys are from around the area, definitely stop in. And it's a bottle share and just fellowship, networking, and like-minded people just getting together and enjoying whiskey. So
I think you had almost 60 bottles there last night.
Yeah, we had a lot of
bottles.
There
was a lot, yeah.
Yeah, there was a ton of
them. Usually.
Like, Joe was like, I couldn't believe how many bottles were there. I was like, that was nothing.
Because it was like only 15, 16 people, but everyone brought 4 or 5 bottles each.
Yeah.
Problem is I can never get out of there on time. It's 4 to 6, and I end up staying there till 8:30, and then
really,
you want to know why my wife's never happy with me?
Well, my wife last night, she was like 5:40. She was like, "Hey, we're just gonna come up there and have dinner with you afterwards." I'm like,
"See, that's cool.
That's perfect." Yeah, like then I got an excuse to get out of here because my wife and kids are sitting there, and great.
His wife got pissed because I told her not to come.
Yeah.
I was just joking with her. She was like, I don't need you yelling at me like that. Yeah. Imagine it with a southern accent.
Yeah, she said.
Is she from Alabama?
She's from Alabama.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. She's got a southern accent. But yeah, we were talking about setting up the table and stuff like that, and she was like, "Oh, I'll come. Like, I'll help you guys decorate the table. Set up. We can put some candy on it." And I was like, "Candy?" I was like, "I don't think these guys drinking bourbons want some, Tootsie Rolls sitting there." But I was like, "I don't know." She's like, "All right, whatever. I'm just not gonna go then."
She's welcome anytime.
Yeah.
Keith brought deer jerky and a bunch of different deer meat.
Yeah,
sweet bologna.
It was super good. He brought some stuff. It was good.
I think that was my first time trying deer meat. And,
really?
I was surprised. It was so good. Yeah.
We got our yearly Christmas party coming up this year, and you should definitely join in.
Yeah.
Sure.
So,
Where are you guys doing it?
We're actually going to be doing it at my cousin's house. Well, let me rephrase that. Meyer Contracting, Brian Meyer and his brother own Meyer Contracting. And so they live, Brian and Sarah. Sarah is my cousin from my mom's side. They have a really nice house, but they also have some land, and they built I guess you call it a garage
It's a detached-
/ bourbon club.
detached garage building.
Building, but it looks like a house, like legitimately. And so that's what we'll be hosting on December 18th, Thursday, December 18th. We haven't put any invites out yet or any kind of marketing material. We're still trying to figure out the logistics and details, but that's when it'll be.
Okay.
Yeah,
We'll be there.
his upstairs, the whole upper floor is his bourbon room lounge, so it's pretty sweet.
You said December 18th, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yep, Thursday, December 18th. Yep, that's the date that we all selected. And we're going to have Kenny doesn't even know this yet, but we're going to have a whiskey barrel Christmas tree.
In every firehouse, every patrol car, every ambulance, and every military unit, there's a bond forged in courage, sealed by sacrifice. At Fallen Brothers Crafted Spirits, we raise a glass to the heroes who never made it home. Crafted in honor, shared in remembrance. Each bottle of our handcrafted whiskey tells a story of bravery, of brotherhood, of lives lived in service. And with every pour, you're giving back. Because a portion of every bottle goes directly to organizations supporting the families of fallen first responders right here in our area. To the ones who answered the call, to the ones who still do, and to those we'll never forget, Fallen Brothers, Crafted Spirits. Raise one. Remember them. Available now. Drink with honor. Support with heart.
Donated by Burnt Barrel, Nathan Price is donating 21 3-gallon or 5-gallon barrels.
Seriously?
So my cousin Sarah can build a whiskey Christmas tree. Whiskey barrel Christmas tree, I guess you could call it.
How sweet is that?
Yeah.
So is our neon sign going to be the topper?
Well, the neon sign's going to be somewhere in the facility, but I don't know where. So maybe we need like Joe to do like a Pappy 23 or put the tree topper.
Well, you guys could win it on the 19th because you're supposed to be there on the 19th.
Yeah.
That's what I was making sure.
Talk about your Christmas event.
So we're doing a big bourbon event. We'll have probably 17 vendors there. That's all free tasting. Like even if you're not in the raffle, you can show up. But basically, if you buy single barrels off of us, you get 2 raffle tickets. Spend $75 in the store in general. You get 1 ticket, and we sell all of our allocations at MSRP. So like our big ones right now, we're still 3 months out because now you guys know like this is time for bourbon to come out.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But like I can confirm like I'm getting Knob Creek 21.
Oh, sweet.
And I'll be one of the very few stores in St. Charles County. So we're gonna have multiple bottles of that, but we're not gonna sell it for $1,000. We're gonna sell it at MSRP. We're probably gonna add 5% just to cover our credit card fees.
Of course,
but
as you should.
It's a great event. The Rack House always throws they'll do a happy hour between my tasting event, so you're not just drinking for 2 hours. Like you can go to Rack House, get some food, and now we have 3 Kings coming in.
Oh, nice.
And we're gonna talk to them about it once they open. And
That's
we're gonna,
right.
most likely I've had a couple conversations with Derek. He's a really nice guy, and he'll most likely do a happy hour as well. So
Is it crazy we're talking about Christmas right now?
Yeah.
Halloween.
We still got
Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
it's a great event. Like we'll average about 200 to 300 people.
Awesome. That's
And-
December 19th at Maui's Liquor in Cottleville.
Yep. So it doesn't matter if it's snowing. It was negative 10 degrees the first year we did it.
The first year, yeah, it was really bad. It was cold, but there was a
Perfect
great
whiskey.
turnout
Yeah.
still. Like so many people showed up. It was
So we
great.
give away like the raffle itself, the bottles we sell at MSRP, but at the end of the raffle, we start the raffle again, and we give away everything for free that we have. So like we get fire pits, smokers, grills.
Oh, nice.
But the first year, dude, we all caved and we started building fires in the parking lot.
Well, if it was negative 10, I would hope so.
Yeah.
So Bob was the mayor at that time.
Oh, was it? Yeah.
And he calls me and goes, "Do you have fires going in your parking lot?" I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "All right, we're going to have to talk about that next time." I was like, "All right." And like, "I'm sorry. It was too cold."
Bob was
I
there
can
last
see
night.
that.
Yeah.
He was there last night. Yeah, he wanted to try the Club's bottle that's coming out at the end of October. And so I poured him a little sample, and he took a drink, and I think he must have took it too quick. He was like, "Ooh, that's hot." And I'm like, "No, it's really not." I'm like, just take a sip of it again. He's like, "Oh, that's really, really good." And he's like, "That first one," he goes, "It got me. It was hot."
Bob likes his whiskey, so he takes it down a little quick.
Yeah. You guys want to explain your guys' Fallen Oak a little bit?
Yeah, Kenny, go ahead.
Yeah, sure. So this is a release that's coming out, I believe, around Halloween is what we have planned right now. A couple days probably prior to Halloween. I think the last Thursday of October it's going to come out actually at our Bourbon Club. So definitely show up to that and get a bottle. All the bottles are going to be purchased through Maui's Liquor.
Yep.
And so once all the bottles are ready, they'll go to his store and you can go up there and purchase it and support him as well and buy other things. The story behind this is it's kind of a Halloween theme since it's October, so it's our 25 Halloween edition, and every year the Bourbon Club's going to do a barrel pick, and it's going to be sort of a Halloween theme. So the label's not on there yet because it's still in production. However, on the front it's going to have the Bourbon Club logo. The pick is called Fallen Oak, and you'll understand that once you see the picture because it's like kind of like the 343 bottle. When you turn to the side there where those names are, it's got a picture of a fallen oak with Michael Myers in it, and then two little kids trick-or-treating, and then it's actually got a fire truck in the background, kind of looking like it's responding to a call, and Brian created that picture, so good job. It's a really cool picture. So every year we'll do a different Halloween-themed picture and probably do a different barrel pick name. It's an 11-year double oaked whiskey. It is a 73 18-9 mash bill, and it's
the proof?
It's killer. No, the proof is actually 116.
116. Okay. I told people wrong last time that I thought for some reason I had 121 in my head, but
no,
116 proof. It's delicious. By the way,
it's very good. Yep. And some double oaks can be a little bit too much oak or dry oak or oak forward, but this one actually is a more subtle one, and it doesn't linger for too long. So with it being 11-year and double oak, you'd think it'd have a little more crazy oak to it, but it's more subtle. So I think it's more appealing to people and stuff like that aren't a huge fan of crazy
If you know anything about me, Halloween's like my favorite holiday, which people are like, "What? It's your favorite holiday?" Like, if you ever drive by my house or Bob Hertel across the street, we compete every year to see who's going out through the other one.
You guys love Halloween
decorations. Yeah. And he's definitely got me beat this year. He's definitely got me beat. He did some really cool stuff this year. But my wife and my family, we love Halloween. And so when I approached Kenny by doing a barrel pick through Fallen Brothers for the Bourbon Club, I was like, I really want it to be Halloween themed. He's like, cool, let's do it. So and the bottle turned out phenomenal. I got to give a shout out to Zach Geesey for helping pick this bottle, Keith Collier, myself, you,
and Maui's Liquor.
Yeah, it was a great pick, great barrel. $95 will be the price. Is going to be the price on it. Like Kenny said, you can pick it up at the Bourbon Club on Thursday, October 30th, which is the last Thursday of the month of October when we're going to release it, or at Maui's Liquor in Connellville.
It gives you something to sip on while you're trick-or-treating on the 31st, and while you're hanging around the fire and all that stuff.
You remember like 2 years ago how cold it was on Halloween?
This would be perfect for that if it was a little more
chilly.
We
had like fires going on our driveways, because like our neighborhood, like everybody's on the driveway with a fire pit, and kids are like trick-or-treating, and adults are like passing out beers and drinks.
Fireball shots.
Exactly. That's like how our neighborhood is. And so Kenny and his family always come down. We live basically in the same street almost. And you couldn't drink enough. It was so dang cold. And I had a stitch onesie on, bundled up, and I was still freezing.
Yeah.
It was so cold. So hopefully we don't have that temperatures this year for Halloween, but who knows?
True. Well, as long as it doesn't rain. I mean, that's the big
rain kills it.
I want the kids to be able to at least enjoy it. So,
I want the trend of the trunk and treats to stop. I want kids running around the neighborhood.
Yes.
There's so many trunk or treats anymore. Everybody does one. Like Allie just told me that Burn Boot Camp is doing one, and she's the one putting it on. I'm like, wait, what?
I'm actually doing one with the Wentzville Chamber of Commerce this year too.
Nice.
Emmanuel Lutheran, when my kids go to school, are doing one. We'll be there.
St. Pat's is doing one too.
Everybody does their trunk or treat, man. It's like every Friday and Saturday in the month of October, there's a trunk or treat. It seems like.
No, let them run around, let them be a little stupid, TV some houses, and
that's what I used to do back in the day.
That's what I'm saying.
We used to on Halloween night. It wasn't about trick or treat. It was like which house doesn't have their porch light on, and they're getting toilet paper everywhere.
Like back in the day when we were growing up, it was like 8 or 9 of us. and we would go to one of the family houses, and our parents would just let us go. Like 2-3 hours.
We were those kids where if somebody left their candy, just sit
we just
down.
took the whole thing.
Yeah, we just took the whole thing.
You're those bastards.
We're those bastards.
So, I don't know, it was a year ago or 2 years ago, we went to take the kids trick-or-treating, and so I just put the bowl of candy out and said, take a handful, don't be stupid. Something like that.
Yeah.
And we were maybe gone 10 minutes, and the whole thing was going on. I was like, yeah, I knew that was going to happen.
Yeah, we took those pillowcases with us.
Nice. That's how, when I was a kid, that's what I did too.
I always loved going to the houses that had the big Snicker bars, and then there was even a house in my subdivision as a kid that had $2 bills.
Oh, really?
That's cool.
Yeah.
Frank on my street, he hands out full size every year.
Oh, does he really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And fireball shots and Bud Lights, because that's what he.
Frank, I'm coming to your house. I don't know anybody.
But so let's talk about a little bit about this and what you guys think as far as some of the notes and stuff.
A lot of sweetness on it.
A lot of sweetness, typical caramel. I almost get like a toasted marshmallow once you start going through it. That double oaked and going into a secondary barrel like that. Kind of was throwing some more.
We couldn't have picked a better barrel.
No,
that's really nice.
There's no ethanol on the nose or on the palate.
And the reviews at the club apparently were really good.
Yeah,
so.
Everybody. Tom Whitehall last night, he had some, and he was like, "Wait, what is that?" And I'm like, "It's an 11-year double oak, man." And he's like, "It's freaking delicious."
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, even the basic information you guys gave me, we sent it to 5 customers of mine, and instantly everyone was like, "Yeah, we need one." It's not a bottle you guys want to miss.
Yeah, exactly.
And wait till you see the artwork.
It's definitely
I don't
unique.
pat myself on the back, but it's beautiful.
Yeah, you did a good job, and it's unique to what we do as a brand, and a little more creative. We stick a little more simplistic and kind of to what the brand resembles. Yeah, we get creative with the circles and the coins and all that, but this one is.
And it's still got the Fallen Brothers theme to it, because it's still a Fallen Brothers, spirit, whiskey, or whatever you want to call it. But it has just a little bit of differentiator in there that makes it unique.
Yeah, and what we do currently is this is why these whiskeys are all so good and quality whiskeys, because we have the opportunity to go pick the barrels and pick unicorns every time we go somewhere. And we always bring a good team of good pilots and all that stuff. So that's why I think, credit to those guys that have helped out with all that. And
for sure.
On all those picks and stuff, we've been able to grow and have a good reputation as producing good whiskey. So, and along with this one that we're releasing with the Bourbon Club, everything we do gives a portion of money back to something. And so this one we decided, since it's October, to do breast cancer awareness. Yeah, and so that's why I'm wearing this shirt today. We have our breast cancer shirts available. They're on our social media pages. You can click that link if you would like one. And then as well, we have some new Bourbon Club gear as well.
We do.
Where can they find that?
BarrelRoomBourbonClub.com.
Awesome, cool.
Yep. So why don't we talk about this one next, because this is coming up
October 4th. Yep. So next Saturday, tomorrow. Yeah. Well, yeah, tomorrow. Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're recording this a week early.
The Blue Angels flew over.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, we did a release for this family already, and it sold out in the first day. It was the first release was Rise and Shine, and it was for a fire captain out of Wentzville, Tommy Shine, who's in a neighboring district to me, so we're close with the family. Long story short, Tommy lost all 4 limbs, had an aneurysm, cardiac arrest, 50 staples in his head. He went through the whole gamut, and to this day, he's alive and made a full recovery and is able to walk on his prosthetics. And part of that first release, we gave $5,000 back to his family, and that was to help with medical bills, prosthetics, and he had to put like $100,000 into his house to get it ADA compliant, like a shower where he can wheel into now and stuff like that. So a lot of money goes out for that specialty kind of stuff, and so it was an honor for us to be able to do that for them. So now that Tommy is out and back, he actually, let's rewind. He was in Chicago, and he met a 20-year-old who actually had a car accident around our area, and that 20-year-old actually lost a limb as well. I think he lost his leg, and so Tommy ended up mentoring him while he was in Chicago. And this was actually, I guess the light bulb went off in Tommy's head, and he realized, I think I have a new calling in life. Because before that, he was kind of depressed, like, I lost my love, my passion, which was firefighting.
Yeah.
And so when you lose that, you're like, the world's crashing down, you don't know what to do. And plus the situation that happened with him, it's easy to get depressed and not want to be here no more. So when he met this young fella, he ended up finding a new purpose in life and realizing maybe I should go out and do this for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
And so that's when they came up with the idea to launch the Rise and Shine Outreach, which is their new non-for-profit to go mentor individuals with life-altering injuries and injuries like what Tommy suffered, and kind of help with financial stuff as well with that. So then their outreach foundation's launching October 4th at Sugar Fire in Wentzville from 11 to 4 p.m. There's
Chili cook-off.
Yeah, like he said, there's a chili cook-off, there's a sand volleyball tournament going on that day, and there's also 10 to 11 distilleries confirmed and also multiple other vendors there as well.
I hear Keith Collier is entering his award-winning chili.
He is, and not to throw a little hint, but it has the very first Rise and Shine bottle. A few ounces of it is integrated into the chili, so we may just win that one.
There you go.
Yep. So anyway, $25 off every one of those bottles is going to the Rise and Shine Outreach, and that's kind of to help them get their outreach funded and launched so that they can start providing some financial assistance to other people. That barrel is a very short barrel. It's only yielded 49 bottles. It is phenomenal. It looks like motor oil. I mean, you can put it next to this 8-year and it trumps it.
Yeah, it's 139 proof too.
Yeah, it's very thick, very oily, very heavy red fruit up front, and definitely gives you the Kentucky hug going down. It's 139. Yeah,
I never heard that one.
It's
I've heard the Kentucky Chew.
It hits you a little bit, but it doesn't stay for long. But that it coats your palate for a long time after you sip it, just because how thick and complex and oily it is. It's viscous for sure.
Okay.
Not bad. That's a little heavy.
That's just for Joe.
Yeah.
But no, I was going to tell you something. I know there's a lot of foundation companies out there, especially with whiskey, but from the past month that we've carried your product, my customers really do appreciate the transparency you show. Because everyone can say, oh, this much money goes here, this much money goes that, but the fact you're showing like the people that you are sponsoring and the money you're giving back to them, it shows a lot of effort, and it really does help the sale of your product. Like, regardless of the quality, like it is a really good quality bourbon, but the fact that you show everything, it means a lot to the community.
Well, and I will say this, I mean, I'm not a part of Fallen Brothers technically, but support Kenny. And then when I tell people about how Fallen Brothers sales have been, they're like, wow, bourbon industry's kind of down right now. There's not, things aren't moving as much as they once were, and Kenny has never felt that. And I think there's two big pieces of that, right? One, it's got to be good juice, or the mission is great, but if it doesn't have good juice, people are like, oh, that's all right, I'm not buying another one. Yeah. So, hats off to Kenny and his entire team who helped pick these incredible barrels. But two, if you can't get behind helping our first responders, and donating some of your efforts while getting a great bottle, and I mean, I don't know who doesn't want to support first responders, right? Like, you think all these. I mean, I'm a contributor to Tunnels to Towers, Folds of Honor. Like, there's some really great organizations out there that truly do make a difference in people's lives. And Fallen Brothers is doing that by helping people like Tommy Shine Out or Nate Speece, who they did a Brothers in Arms pick for, helping those people out. And if I'm going to buy a bottle of whiskey and I'm going to pay $95 to $125, it better be good juice. But I also would love for it to have to be worth something and mean something, right? Like, I can go buy a $240 bottle of Old Sport. Yeah, it was great, but it goes nowhere. Like, there's no real mission behind it. And I'm not dogging Old Sport. Jeff Hanley, if you're listening, I'm not dogging it. It's a great bottle.
Very great.
It just popped in my hands. But yeah, it just it's a great mission.
Well, we bought the 343 on 9/11. We got it in. Kenny brought it in himself, and within an hour or two, we sold all of it. Got my service done by him, and I went right to Kenny's house. And him and Keith were working on the boxes, and I didn't even know at that time that they were doing all of themselves. So I just took a quick couple pictures, and I posted that. Afterwards, the 6 bottles that we had left that were sold, they only came in because of the effort he showed. Like, the behind the scenes, like they were building it themselves was the sole reason.
You should have seen his wife's car when they got.
Oh, I did. I felt so bad for him.
I said, apparently Keith got his butt chewed out for that one. That's what he tells me.
Yeah, it wasn't there.
I was confused when I walked in his house, his garage, and I was like, I thought this was a 3-car. Because it is. I'm like, I was too.
Yeah.
He's like, I was like, how do you get away with this shit?
Yeah.
Yeah, he built the boxes right there in his driveway and garage, man.
Keith had built them.
Yeah.
Keith and Kenny, they built every one of them.
That's awesome.
And then thankfully I got a laser engraver machine, so I was able to laser engrave all the fronts and
the logo and everything on there.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
So JP, I'm gonna pull it back to you. You were in Alabama for 2 years, right?
Yes.
How long have you been back here in this facility here in Wentzville?
Yeah, so we moved here middle of August. I want to say August 12th is when we moved back
Oh,
here.
so really recently.
Yeah, so it's been a little over a month, and then I took over this place. So I did shadow. So there was a guy here in this building named Dr. Nate Kinnison. That's who I took over this clinic from. He recently moved to Arizona, and they've been planning it for a while. And they knew they were going to move in September, and he was pretty much this close to just shutting this place down because he couldn't find a chiropractor that he met a few chiropractors that wanted to buy it from him, but their values just didn't align with the way that he wanted them to be. So
a lot of respect for that.
Yeah, so he was about to shut it down because he was like, at the end of the day, I'd rather shut it down and my patients find their own chiropractor than bring in a chiropractor that my patients aren't going to like and then I feel bad for my patients. So
reputation for sure.
Yeah, so he was pretty close to shutting it down. I just happened to see him on Logan University's website. They've got like a marketplace where I was actually looking for a table because I was like, maybe when I get to Wentzville, I'll start my own thing. And his ad popped up on the side, Wentzville Chiropractic Clinic for sale. Nice. Clicked on it, found him, reached out to him end of July. I was able to come here, hang out with him for a couple days in the clinic, and we just really hit it off. We had the same values, same type of mindset as far as how we want to see patients. And just so you guys know, the way we see patients here, it's a complete one-on-one. Obviously, there's nobody else. It's just me here. Complete one-on-one, 30 minutes is a follow-up. First patient gets 45 minutes to an hour. That way we can really sit down, talk about everything, talk about goals. And so it's not like you're waiting somewhere in a room for 15 minutes, you're talking to this person for 10 minutes, and then you come see me for 10 minutes. So you're actually going to be with me the whole time for 30 minutes. That's with my undivided attention. And so that's what he wanted. A lot of chiropractors wanted to turn it into that quick, okay, they come in, they just get adjusted, pop, get out type deal. So he was like, that's the last thing I wanted for my patients because they do expect a lot from their chiropractor with the cupping, dry needling, exercises, stuff like that. So we met and it was great for those 2 days that we saw each other. And he was willing to sell it to me. So I moved here on the 12th of August. Spent 2 more weeks with him here before he left in September so I could meet some of the patients.
Nice.
Just to get my face in front of them for 2 weeks, and then I officially took over September 1st. So it hasn't been a full month yet that I've taken over, but it's been a great couple of weeks so far, and I really, really enjoy having my own clinic, my own space to where I can do what I want to do and not listen to somebody else like the owner or the head chiropractor. Sure. And I only live a couple of minutes away from here, about 3 minutes away, so it's really flexible too, which is really, really nice. So,
well, and just for those who are watching and listening, if you want to know where we're at, we're on West Allen Street here in Wentzville. If you know where West Allen Grill is, or the Goat House,
J&P Barber,
they're right down the road on West Allen, and what used to be a church that now has a bunch of suites in it. So address is 111 West Allen, right?
Yeah, Suite 105.
Suite 105. So if you want to check them out, how you should do so. We'll also put their website in the bottom of this podcast that you can find them and figure out how to book an appointment, all that fun stuff. But wanted to at least talk a little bit more about kind of the facility and how you got here.
So that's pretty much how it was done, and everything honestly stayed pretty much the same as what Nate left it at, and I just kind of took off with his existing clientele. Definitely have built up a little bit the last few weeks, but again, he didn't really do any kind of marketing or nothing like this, obviously. He didn't do any kind of social media.
He's going to watch this and be like, what the hell did I do?
Well, no, he's such a great guy.
He's like, he's drinking bourbon.
In my office.
Like, what is going on? But I'm really trying to take off as far as the social media space goes. Actually, right after this is done, I've got a photographer and videographer friend that's coming in here. We're going to shoot a bunch of videos to start posting on Facebook, Instagram. eventually probably do TikTok as well. Haven't really made that account yet, but really want to get big into marketing soon. So
TikTok is for me. This is just my personal opinion. Like that's what sucks me in, man.
TikTok,
it's a very good marketing tool.
Right.
Well, we just did a podcast last week with Whiskey 50, and he's got 20,000 followers, and all he does is like reviews whiskey. He's a cop.
Yeah.
Really
great,
cool guy.
Really cool dude. Great TikTok, and he doesn't really market on Facebook or anywhere else. And he's built a whole brand basically out of it, which is really incredible. And like for me, late at night, 8, 9 o'clock at night, I'm just relaxing, trying to like get the thoughts of the day like out of my head so I can like go to sleep. You know what I mean? Like, I'll get on TikTok and I'll start watching. For some reason, I always get the cop videos, and I freaking like love the cop videos, right? Like, this guy pulls this lady over, and she's got a machete in her hand, and it's like some craziest like TikTok videos, and I just get sucked into them. The next thing I know, it's like midnight. And I'm watching. Are you going to bed anytime soon? I'm like, I got sucked into TikTok.
Yeah, there is a lot of good educational stuff on there as well, though. Like, because if you were to create one, somebody could type in chiropractic practice or something, and then you may pop up. They can click on it, and you're showing them how, like a movement or something that they can do to help them.
I'll give you a great example of it. So obviously, Kenny and I have the Bourbon Club in this podcast, and I'll just be honest, I'm looking at every way I can not pay taxes. And so I was on TikTok the other night, and there was this CPA coach who was on the TikTok, and all he does is talking about how to like basically be legitimate, but also work the system. And I got a meeting with the guy like next week, and he's out of Chicago. I would have never found him if it wasn't been for TikTok. Right? So now I'm meeting with him next week just to kind of understand, okay, am I doing things right? Am I got
codes and laws and stuff?
Exactly. I'm not an accountant. I don't understand any of that. And of course, I'll pay my fair share in taxes. IRS, if you're watching.
You already do.
I already do. Trust me, plenty. But yeah, it's just really cool how like businesses are now starting to advertise on TikTok, and how, like, even yesterday, I'm leaving for Scottsdale, Arizona tomorrow, and I need to get a haircut while I'm down there because my barber, who, God rest her soul, she's in the hospital right now with a blood clot in her lung. So she had to cancel on me today, so I'm like, I'll just get it cut down in Arizona. So what did I do? I didn't go to Google. I went to TikTok and I searched best barber, Scottsdale, Arizona. Booked an appointment last night.
Yeah. And actually, speaking of that, I've got a social media patient here who does social media marketing, and he told me, I was talking to him about posting on Instagram. He's like, well, have you thought about TikTok? And I was like, no, not yet. He was like, I'd rather do TikTok than Instagram. And I was like, why would you do that? And he said TikTok is actually more geographical based location. So if you searched back pain, they'd show people closer to you rather than just whoever. But Instagram, if you search like back pain, you can click on a video and you might find somebody in Texas. But TikTok might show you somebody that's actually close to you versus Instagram. So
I think Facebook does the same thing too.
Facebook does too, it's more geographical wise.
Recently, I was doing whiskey tasting at Cigar Vault, which I did yesterday actually at Cigar Vault. But when she posted the event, she was actually in Arizona, and basically when I saw it, when she posted it, it showed that the event was in Arizona where she was located and not at Cigar Vault, Pacific, Missouri. So I just reached out to her and was like, hey, and she's like, oh shoot, yeah, I was out of town, And so I guess when you create an event, it kind of does where you're located.
Yes.
And Facebook and TikTok have been my two greatest avenues for marketing so far. And, we don't have a crazy following yet, but, we're up to, I think, 34 or 500 followers on TikTok and 11.5 thousand views. Some of our bottles that I post, just a bottle alone generates 43,000 views. And so then, I get emails and messages on TikTok saying, hey, how can I get one? Where can I get it? This and that. Like 150 come in. When you get that many views, it's like, holy shit, now you're overwhelmed.
Well, it's crazy how business and social media have think back to, I can remember back to the day when Facebook came out. I was in college, and it was like you had to have a college email address in order for Facebook to work.
Really?
I know I'm a little bit older than all you all here, but that's okay. You had to have a college email in order for Facebook to work. And I went to a community college called Lewis and Clark Community College in Godfrey, Illinois, and apparently community colleges weren't allowed, thanks Mark Zuckerberg. So I couldn't even join Facebook. All my friends went to SIU Edwardsville. They all had Facebook. I couldn't go on. So if you remember back when there was MySpace, I don't know if you guys remember MySpace. So I had MySpace, all my friends had Facebook. And it wasn't until I graduated Lewis and Clark and started going to SIU that I was able to finally get Facebook. But that's where it like started at. It was all for like college kids. And to think we're Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok.
Well, now
there's like
I've been
Lemon. There's all these different ones.
Yeah, I've been messing with Threads a little bit too.
Threads,
it's off Instagram, so you can repost your Instagram post to Threads as long as your caption isn't too long. It'll repost to Threads as well. So
it's just crazy.
Facebook for me has been the key for success for my business, because I would have known you guys. Or
I don't think you would. Facebook for this podcast is where it's all at. People are like, well, you only had 35 people watch the podcast on YouTube. I'm like, yeah, but I had 30,000 watch it on Facebook. It's incredible how many views we get on Facebook through this podcast.
Because before, like a simple post for me, I would average 500-600. Now it's close to 4,000 or 5,000. That really does make a true impact. Some days, some posts don't get any traction, but the posts that do get traction, it does bring a lot of attention to that business.
Yeah. It finds out, like for you, it finds out when, say you're releasing, like you just got something in, you can post it, and people will know you got it. Yeah. If they don't know you got it, they may not. They may be like, I don't really need anything, but he's got that. Let me go up there. I want to snag that.
Simple.
Especially for the bourbon hunters, that's the key of getting them, because that's what they're looking for.
And
they have
Grillo shout out. Grillo does a great job. When he gets something rare into his store, he'll post a picture and be like, "It's in." And if I'm not busy, I'm like there in 10 minutes to try to grab it, right? Because otherwise it's gone.
I stopped doing that.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because I don't know, like I always felt like when I posted it, one year I did it with Blood Oath. I think it was pack 8. And I had 12 bottles of it. Within 10 minutes, it was all gone.
Oh, then people are disappointed?
People get disappointed, yes, but my thing is they're just watching my Facebook, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like the people that actually come in, I feel like they deserved it.
The ones that pay
they randomly came in and they randomly saw that bottle sitting there for $119.
That's a good point. Good point.
But like I still will post certain things, but like when it comes to my allocations, I want to treat the people that are just naturally coming in that day to treat themselves.
Well, like even with Grillo, most of the time it's like you need to buy $35 worth of meat before you're able to buy that bottle, right? And so he can obviously have his meat sales. But it's just crazy to me how all the social media has came to be with business. But we're gonna wrap up here.
Do you want to? I think last night you spoke at the Bourbon Club. Do you offer our members anything for getting adjustments? Or?
So last night I did say that anybody for Barrel Room or the club will get a 25% off discount.
Holy cow!
For which we are only cash based. I don't take insurance just because a lot of the times insurance can kind of dictate your care to a certain extent too. So I like to be just cash based. But 25% off. Visits.
You have to be a member of the Barrel and Bourbon Club.
Discount.
You have to show.
I didn't make it last night, so I didn't hear that. I knew you spoke and you were going to offer some to our members, and to hear 25%.
Which our regular price for new patients is $99, just because I take about an hour with everybody. But follow-ups after that are $72.80. And so off that $72.80, I'll take 25% off.
Again, you have to be a member of the Barrel Room Bourbon Club. If you're not a member of the Barrel Room Bourbon Club, go sign up at www.barrelroombourbon.com.
And that is worth it if you utilize chiropractic offices and knee adjustments.
The club's worth it in general.
It is, well, because for the $10 a month membership, the single barrel membership, you get entered into a bottle raffle from. And generously, Maui's Liquor is one of our big sponsors. He gives us a bottle valued over $100 every month to raffle off to our members. So if you win that, that's basically paying for your entire year's membership.
Chris Vincent won last night, the podcast and the Barrel Room Bourbon Club.
No, he didn't.
He won both. And I did it fair and square. I put everybody's name in a little circle, the spinny thing.
Oh, the spinny one, yeah.
Yeah, I did it, and sure as shit, he walked over 2 bottles last night.
Well, just coming to him once a month, that covers 2 months of savings.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's
for the Barrel Room podcast.
Yeah, it's almost $20.
So, and then my brother won both bottles last month. So look at that. You could eventually win.
You could
the trend is the same person's winning both bottles every month. So if you want to win the $50 bottle a month, which we do on our podcast, go and like this podcast and share it, and you will get entered into it. So,
and just so you're aware, Keith Collier, I don't pick the top 3 fans. Facebook picks it for me, and then I enter those 3 names into the hat, which Kenny draws or I draw. So I try to be as fair as I can. on that. But
and then, real quick,
go ahead.
what are the links that we can find you on Facebook and Instagram so that we can?
Yeah, so Facebook, Instagram, and the website are all Crossroads Chiro Rehab.
Okay.
Or crossroadschirorehab.com.
Okay.
And then you can book. There's links on Facebook and Instagram to reach the website. And then same thing on the website. If you click book now, it should take you to my scheduling page.
Sweet. Appreciate that.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, great episode, guys. Cheers,
Cheers.
to Crossroads. And Maui, the Mauis, the brothers from another mother, basically.
And it's always nice to have one of our big sponsors on
That's
here.
right.
So that's super
That's
cool
right.
to have Joe here today,
Appreciate
and then obviously to promote.
JP.
Well, we wanted to. My purpose was to show his business off today.
Yep.
Like how you have said in the past podcasts, like me and my employees, we do take a lot of time with our customers. We show them respect. We teach them bourbon and give them that time. Like if you go to other liquor stores, like we talked about, they just hand you something, be like, yeah. And that's what we want to showcase our family morals, where it's not about the money to him at the end of the day. He wants to make sure these patients are walking in here are living pain-free lives, or preventing, like firemen, preventing future pain by coming to him.
It's all about people helping people, Joe.
Exactly.
Give us a quick shout out to all our sponsors: Girls Shop and Barrel, Maui's Liquor,
Appreciate
Edward Jones, Barrel Room Bourbon Club, and Fallen Brothers Crafted Spirits. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Thank you.